Hey, welcome back, multifamily investors. It's Monday, and I'm checking last week's sales in Western Washington, or I'd say the 5 counties that I pretty much track closely for. We have, on average, it seems like we've seen between 9 and 15 deals close every week. And so this is right on par with what we're seeing for closing 11 deals. Mostly some duplexes here. Got a couple fourplexes, one in Tacoma, one in Kent, and a bigger one down here in Ballard in Seattle. So we'll just jump through these so you can kind of get an idea or assessment on what these, let's start the first one, what these deals are selling for. This was 469 duplex, kind of on a busy street in Tacoma. It was on the market like a couple months, and I knew it was probably going to struggle to get something. I think it started closer to 500. This one as well, listed for 540, sold for 535. It was remodeled, but it's an older property in South Tacoma. Most of these went to conventional buyers, by the way. This one, I believe, was VA. It was listed for 590, sold in 3 days for 600. So they probably had multiple offers. It's a nice property, upcoming part of the central Tacoma. You can see bigger development stuff going on. This one sat for 4 months. I think it started at 750 and it trickled down. Finally sold for 640. Just kind of one of the better properties on that block. And it's on a busy street, so I knew that one was going to struggle a little bit. This one in Puyallup was listed as a triplex, but it's actually 3 separate small homes all on one lot. So great multi-generational type of thing, probably, or house hack deal. Kind of an odd property, odd listing, but ended up selling for 820. That was conventional as well. Fourplex, probably a house hacker living in one, renting out the other 3. This block has a lot of fourplexes built on it, so you get a lot of competition, but it was listed for 870, sold for 875. I'm sure that he probably built in a little cushion there to ask for the seller credit back to help them buy down their loan costs or their points. So this one in Kent, it started at almost $1 million, sold for 880. It had a funky boiler system, old thing down there, not a lot of updates. So this is really cheap for South King County, Kent, for 4 units, but it does need some work. There you go on that. This one, look, it started at 1.4. This is in Beacon Hill area of South Seattle. Fourplex, ended up selling for 1.175. That's probably not a terrible deal if you don't mind owning in Seattle for 4 units. Cool property in Alki. Again, more of a probably a long-term development play here. List for 1.5, sold for 1.275. This one I couldn't believe sold for 1.795, almost asking, but it was an all-cash buyer. So their cap on this was about 5.75. But again, I'm not sure why. If I had $1.8 million, that I would be putting it all in on a fourplex in central Tacoma. Crazy. But to each his own. Thankfully, we all don't want the same thing, right? And then this was probably a 1031 buyer. It was listed for 4.4. It's a 13-unit in Ballard. Good mix, though, 1 and 2s. This is what I like to see on my properties when I'm looking at deals. I like to see a good mix of 1 and 2s. That's my favorite unit mix. And they considered seller financing, but I'm pretty sure this was just a 1031 buyer. So congrats to 11 investors taking steps forward in either moving their portfolio around or adding to it. And I will check the inventory for next week as well. Thank you for watching.